You ever seen that? I don't know what it was, but it was like you take like aluminum cans, or not aluminum cans, but like styrofoam cups, and you put them together, and I don't know. You make a cannon.
Okay.
So, Seku's dumbass. It was at my house, and we were like fucking smoking, and we were just fucking high, and he was like, "Man, have you ever tried to do the cannon with styrofoam cups? Because we used to have like a million styrofoam cups from my dad."
Ain't nobody want to do dishes.
So he took 2 styrofoam cups and put them together, taped it right, and then he poked a hole in one end, and he took his lighter, and you know how you press the gas?
Yeah. So ignition, but there was just gas.
Yeah, it was just the
You can hear the
butane.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he pressed the little button, and he put the little hole, or he put the top of the lighter on the hole, and was just pretty much blowing gas or the butane in the cups, and he's just like there for a minute, and I'm like, okay, let's see what because he's talking about a cannon or some shit. I'm like, oh, like let's see. So he's doing it, and then he was like, so when I'm done filling it up, I just gotta light the lighter, and I'm like, all right. So he's like, psst, and for a long time, it was like 5 minutes, just psst,
damn,
yeah. So then he was like, all right, you ready? And I was like, all right. So he fucking like lights it, and that all you hear is psst, and like I guess it lit up all the gases or whatever, but then it kind of like spit out fire. He must have burned his fucking hand. All you see is like, and he goes like this, and his hand's like on fire, like for a little bit. And he's like, "Oh fuck!" And then, like when you burn yourself, it kind of like
white meat, son.
Yeah,
Get that white meat, son.
I was like, I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but you made me feel like you were gonna show me something dope. I was like, oh shit, that's what's up. Let me see what he got. Probably learned this shit from school because he was still in school at the time.
Oh, okay.
But all of a sudden he's like, oh, and I was like, that's it. Like what? And we ended up having to fucking put some Vaseline on his fucking hand and wrap that shit up. I was like, don't ever show me no experimental shit ever again, man. like science and you do not mix ever.
Not
What
that
the
dude.
fuck?
Not that dude. Hey everybody, welcome to Modesty and Frank. Be with your boy Big Daddy Dominic Calvers, and of course, on the table, opposite end, the man always here, always gonna be Mike. What it epic was, Marrera. Dude, why would you say? Why would you even let him get past the? Hey, you want to see something cool?
Well, because I don't know. He said he was gonna show me like a little cannon that he used to do back in the day. I was like, all right, sick. Like, let's see what you got. And
I could hear because we both done fire knife dancing, and we know what happens when you don't spin it fast enough. It just kind of goes.
Yeah.
Instead of that real thunderous, like.
Yeah.
I can imagine when his hand was on fire, you could hear the. I can hear him. I can hear him in his bleached hair. As fast as a fucking knife got spun. You fucking dummy.
Now that's a fire dance. Oh man, that shit had me dying.
Oh man, like we've all done something stupid with fire, man. Okay, so here's my dumb fire story, and I was gonna save it for when I had a friend on here, but fuck it, I'm taking it. No, so we're in his backyard, and his backyard was one of those houses on a declined hill, but going towards his house or away from his house.
Yeah.
So we're all in the backyard. He has a legit backyard.
Wait, whose house is this?
Andrew.
Oh, okay.
So we're in his backyard. We're lighting shit on fire. We go into like the down slope of his house, And so, we won't get in trouble. So we all dug a hole, and it was 100% dirt. So we just, so nothing catches, right? So my stuff start catching on fire, and I go, oh, yeah, this is great. Shit, it's starting to get a little out of control. Let me grab this gigantic rock I can fucking grab at the time, and I'm going to extinguish it in one kaput. So I get it, I raise it above my fucking head, and I go, Kia! And I throw it down. Whomp! Spreads fire everywhere. No, this is during summertime,
what
okay?
The hell?
There was dry grass.
You're the cause of the brush fires.
So, shh, all right? So it throws fire everywhere. His whole backyard is on fire. When I'm saying his whole backyard is on fire, it was on fire. But I was like, oh, shit. So his cousin grabs a hose and starts putting shit down as fast as he can.
Doing the smart thing?
Doing the smart thing. My brother comes up to the front door. Hey, Dom, you got to come home. All right, guys, I'll see you guys later. I'll check you guys. I love what we did here. I love what we did here. I love our time together. I got a peace out. I was out of there.
Bye, guys. I'm out. What the fuck?
Fresh invite, bro. I was out of there. Fuck, man. Oh, man. And so, but the house was still up and everything. But I was such a day. That was my close encounter with fire, and I'm like, I respected it after that. I mean, I still light shit on fire now, but I at least know a fire extinguisher is close by. But no, that was like you should have seen his backyard. As my brother's calling me, I'm looking back trying to help, but not really. And you can see the rage of it going like woo, and I was like, oh shit. And my brother, thank God for my oldest brother, he was like, Dom, you gotta come home. Guys, I gotta go take a bath. I gotta eat dinner. Because I was way more afraid of my mom.
Thanks for the entertainment.
Thank you guys for allowing me to experiment. Way more afraid of my mom than that goddamn fire. I would have paid for that house.
Fucking funny, bro.
Yeah, fire's no joke.
I wonder why Andrew don't like you.
I've never paid him back. I've never apologized to anyone.
I'm surprised he never paid you back. I would have went over your house, light your shit on fire. All right, dude, I gotta go.
Nah, man, my mom was there. You can't fuck with her, dude.
That's
no. So we've all had our brushes with fire. I just hope my kids don't.
You're an idiot.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. I'm not even contesting that. Fucking thought a big rock can put out that big
and in summer.
It was how
I'm telling you were probably the reason why those brush fires happened back in the day.
It was one cigarette. I don't think I did that. Dude, those brush fires, you felt the earthquake, or an earthquake just happened not even a week ago.
Yeah,
okay, so you slept through it. You didn't feel anything, right? Neither did I, but my wife said I did, apparently, but I didn't.
Feel it?
Was aware of it, I guess. But because she's like, honey, you talked to me 2 seconds before the earthquake happened.
She has to understand you're sleeping, you're her husband, you're like, yeah,
exactly. It's my natural reaction to just go, yeah. So yeah, I guess that, but everybody, not everybody, but there are some people are afraid to come out of California because of the earthquakes. It's very unpredictable. Yeah. It's so scary.
Dude, when I went out to New York, it was like in my junior high days. I happened to go out to New York to visit my dad, and all the questions that they had were, so earthquakes, huh? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, how are they? Are they scary? I'm like,
cool.
They shake. I mean, I didn't know what to fucking.
Well, because
they were so amazed by oh, you have earthquakes in California. I'm like,
they have blizzards and shit out there, stuff we can't comprehend. You know what I mean? Because if we ask a stupid snow question, they're like, that's not a big deal. But it's the same thing. Because knock on wood, we haven't had a really disastrous earthquake. I mean,
no, we haven't. I mean, that one on Easter. That
yeah.
That shit. I was out in the park and I felt that shit. It felt like I was on one of those, those fun house where the floor vibrates back and forth. Yeah, that's how it felt back in the day. But no damage really happened.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, it was funny at best.
They say we're due. We're due for the.
Well, we just had one.
No, a big ass
Dude, they've been saying that since we were in 5th grade.
Hey, but you never know. These little earthquakes are probably just building up friction within the plates, and we gonna have this big giant one. supposedly California's supposed to fucking move up.
Yeah, no. Didn't they say like it was supposed to like break off in like 2010?
They were like
it's supposed to break off and become its own island.
I hear it different. Like it's supposed to break off, become an island. Then it's supposed to just not break off, but shift towards like Washington. And I'm like,
how the fuck are you gonna shift your ass in water? Like
shift, like the Cali is gonna shift up, like it's like gonna go this.
So then, where's Washington gonna go?
I don't know.
See, see, people are dumb. Like,
what do you mean? Where's
well,
Washington?
you said it's gonna shift to Washington, right?
Shift up, yeah.
Shift up. Okay, so where's Washington gonna go?
Well, I mean,
to Canada.
Yeah.
What do we do with the Washingtonians? Are they gonna be Canadian then, or is that gonna be just part of America?
I don't know, eh?
Yeah, no. So yeah, people like are pretty like I have.
But there's a lot of speculation on what's gonna happen. But I guess we just have to wait until it happens.
Illuminati, bro. Anywho, no. I have in-laws in Oklahoma, and they have tornadoes out there.
Yeah. And
I'm like, I'll fucking take a little earthquake over a goddamn tornado because the time they've been out there, we probably had like 2 earthquakes. They've had like 50 tornadoes like in their backyard, and they have like, fucking sweet tea while it's happening. They're like, oh yeah, that's not a big deal. I'm like, what? Me and you would freak out, but Tornado Alley.
But people, depending on where you're from, people are like they're used to different climates.
Yeah, a little shake like that.
Motherfuckers that it's fucking like 100-degree weather and they're wearing fucking sweaters and shit. Like, I can't even walk outside on a hot day, like with my shirt on. I'm like, oh, my shirt is fucking like sticking to me, but they wear these fucking like turtleneck sweaters or these hoodies, and I'm like, yeah. The sun's out. You're wearing all black sweater, all black pants, boots.
Yeah, like I never understood that. Like, cause I'm a hot person in general. You can ask Brent at Brent the broker. Funny story, true story. We were at Brent's house just kind of hanging out, and I told him this, and for some reason, yes, we were both inebriated, but like I told him this, I'm just a hot person. Like I run hot. No, you don't, you son of a bitch. So we didn't get into it. But not really. But he goes, I'm going to take your temperature right now. It just so happened like he had a fire going, like a fire pit in his backyard. So he's like, I'm going to find the thermometer right now. And I was like, fine. So I stuck my head as close as I possibly could to the fucking fire. I fucking stuck it super close to the fire. He finally figures out how to do it. He's grinding. Like, it's one of those infant ones because he has kids. And he's like,
grinding.
All you have to do is like if you guys go to the hospital and the nurses do the thing and they slide that thing across your forehead and then beep 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 and then you're okay, you're good. It's one of those. So he has one of those and he was like grinding it on my fucking head and I'm losing skin. I'm like, okay, I'm only gonna take like one more of these because I'm gonna just tell Brent, all right, you need to stop. But he finally, because he can't figure it out. He finally gets it figured out and it's like a 101. Fuck you, Dominic. And I'm like, dude, I run hot.
Damn, you do run hot.
I run hot, son. But yeah, no. Different people in different climates. Like people can't handle that it gets to like 101 out here, 102 sometimes. They're just like, oh my God, this is how it is. You wake up with the sun and you go to sleep with the sun because, summers. Yeah, it gets dark at 8. You know what I mean? That's fucking 12 hours of sun.
It's even hot at night, like pitch black night, and just like
and when people like that live in Alaska or I mean just anybody that has 4 seasons, they don't fucking get California at all, and I don't blame them either because the more knowledge you get as you get older and read books and you just know about the world, they have 4 seasons. And a friend of mine that lived in Minnesota, I was like, hey, why do people still live in Minnesota? He goes, because they're stupid. That's the main reason why I fucking live out here, because we have spring and summer, and that's it. And we have a cold spring. For a few weeks,
and winter's a bit breezy. But
no, but like when people like they stick to their ways, like when it comes to like when they wear sweaters in the summertime, or they just wear like the clothes they would wear in their climate, in their area, wherever they're from, and they come to California and try to wear that shit. And we just look at them like, oh, you're not from around here.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you make me feel hot for you.
When we were working at the leather store, majority of the people that bought were from out of town. They didn't.
Well, that dude, that was our main clientele. That's for sure.
I don't know. Anybody from Dago, it was just like you were trying to make a fashion statement, or you're trying to just
leather shirts.
Yeah,
they had leather
pants, dude.
Leather pants doesn't bother me as much as leather shirts.
Yeah,
because next to the leather shirts was leather jackets. There was no difference, except for maybe more buttons. I was like, what the fuck are you going to establish with a leather shirt? You can't put a design on it.
Yeah, you can't.
I don't think so. Right?
No, you could probably embroider some shit, but still a leather shirt. I would never wear a fucking leather shirt.
What guy? That's why we don't have any friends that wear leather shirts.
And if we do, they're never going to come around.
That's not a friend of mine. That's a friend of Mike. Pool. What had happened was Marrera. Not mine.
Hell no.
No fucking way, man. Like you've seen people that just wear like just long ass clothes in the summer or just hot clothes in the summer. Yeah, even like when they wear like socks with slippers.
Yeah, I'm like, it's all winter and they have like fucking those Adidas Velcro strap with socks. I'm like,
what are you trying to say? Trying to say something about my people? Are you trying to say something about my people, man?
Which you Canadian? Hey,
well, Mexicans say that too.
S.A.
So where do they start? Where did that A start? Mexico or Canada? Buta. That's another story.
Damn
another
cabron.
Time. Damn cabrones. Yeah.
But yeah.
But no, I went to Canada. Have you ever been to Canada?
No.
No, it's cool. It's a cool place. I have to admit, I got thrown off because, long story short, my brother got married in Washington. Mother-in-law got married in Washington. Mm-hmm. I was like, hey, honey, we're 2 hours away from Canada. Let's just go spend a weekend up there. I had like 10 days off. So we spent a whole weekend up there.
You got a hotel and everything?
Yeah, absolutely. It was fun. Super fun. Nothing bad to say about Canada. You want to talk about Big Brother, the TV show you don't watch. But like the minute we crossed into Canadian territory or British Columbia territory, my phone said, "Nope, that is roaming, my friend. You're gonna have to pay for this," and it threw me for a loop. And so I got very upset. Like I was just like, dude, I need this from GPS. And, calling people, you can call people, but GPS was my big thing. Because I had unlimited internet and everything, so it was just one flat fee. Yeah. But I went to British Columbia. I was just mad as a fucking hornet because they were like, nah, you got to pay per kilobyte. And all. So the first day was kind of fucked. The second day, we went to Stanley Park and stuff like that. And it's a beautiful country. Or even that city. The city is wonderful. So, yeah. But Canada, like, we did Stanley Park, and we did, like, a bike ride with my whole family. And one of the guys, they actually have a lane just for bikes, not bikes that happen to be in the street with cars. No. They have their own lane. So we went on that road, but we kind of accidentally walked in we rode our bikes in the pedestrian lane. They have their own lane too.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and one, you could tell he was a Canadian. He goes, "Hey, at least you're going the right way." I was like, "What'd you just say to me, you son of a bitch?" So they really talk like that up there.
That's so funny.
So no, it was super fun. It was a great time. I can't wait to go back. I can't wait to go back to Seattle, and I can't wait to go back to British Columbia, Vancouver.
Yeah,
super fun, man. I suggest all of us visit the top hat of America. Yeah, super fun. Stanley Park. If you have kids, like Stanley Park is the shit. You can spend a whole weekend up there and not see everything.
Really?
It's huge. Stanley Park is fucking gigantic. And we didn't even get a quarter of what we really want to do because I was an asshole that first day and I just want to get to a hotel. Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry, honey.
Fucking woman.
Oh, dude, you have no idea. I was livid, man. I was so mad, and because I couldn't use my GPS. You have fucking no clue. I was so mad. And so we get up there. You should
have a Thomas guide, man.
We had a map. And I had to go. But luckily, I was born in an era where the Thomas guides were the shit. I mean, GPS hasn't been around that long.
I'll fucks with a Thomas guide, man. I'll be like,
well, I had to.
A10.
I wish I would have had you then because I was like, you know what? This map doesn't make sense. Honey, it's upside down. Fuck this map! So yeah, I was so thrown off.
Why are we going to Mexico?
It says Mexico. So yeah, no, but man, British Columbia, Vancouver, or Canada, whatever you want to call it. I suggest everybody, at least in America, go visit it. I mean, Canada's a beautiful place.
I got a bucket list of like places I want to go. I want to go to Europe. I want to go to.
But Europe's fucking
Rome.
huge. Like,
Rome.
So Italy.
Italy.
Well, Italy.
No.
Don't be stupid.
I was continuing Rome, Italy, you bastard. God damn it. And then I want to go to Japan. That's another one. That's a big one.
Yeah.
You know, I really, because my cousin went there and he said that the people are so like polite and like, you know, yeah, like, and he said if you try to tip them, they take it like as a
insult.
Yeah, an insult because they're doing their craft.
Yeah.
Like what they do.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Japanese. I mean, there's a lot of modernized Japanese, but like the people that do their stuff, like the sushi makers or the sushi chefs and shit, they do their craft because that's their craft. That's what they know. That's how they. That's what they do.
That's how they make their living. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was
prideful city or prideful country, man.
Yeah.
Very prideful.
Yeah.
Like a friend of mine, you know him, Clay. He spent a good amount of time in Japan and learned their ways and stuff. He's like, you know, he's telling me some cool shit. I kind of don't, I can't recall because I don't want to like taint what he said about them.
Yeah.
But you know, there are some places that still kind of don't take to foreigners.
Oh yeah.
And you know, but you know,
yeah, you got the old Japan, like the old. What do you call it?
Let me ask you a question. When you go to Japan, what's the first thing you would do? Like, let's just say you went with someone like Big Daddy Dominic Alvarez. Me and you, we go to Japan. We get a sponsor. Someone like Mission Brewery. That's what's powering the show today.
Yes.
At Mission Brewery. I don't know if that's real.
Yeah, at
Mission Brewery. Yeah, it's power. We just killed the growler, so we're good.
Yes.
So what was you're going with your boy Big Daddy Dominic Alvarez? What would you do the first thing? What would you be like? You'd be like, Dom, I paid for it. I have an itinerary. This is what we're going to do. Big Daddy's like, okay, cool. What's the first thing we going to do? We land. We throw our shit down.
I'd want to go to that famous intersection.
The penis place. The penis temple. I bet you that's where you want to go.
No, there's actually that famous intersection that's on. It's on
everybody's
Drift.
movie. Yeah,
it's
like
on
where you
Tokyo
can go
Drift.
across the way.
And there's like my cousin. He's been there and he's telling me all this stuff. And there's like probably like 1 million people in this fucking intersection at once.
Yeah.
And he was like, unless you're another foreigner, like American or whatever,
anyone but Japanese. That equals a
pretty
foreigner.
much. Yeah. Whatever. But they don't bump into each other. They're just.
I heard that too.
They're just like over here. You. He was like, I was over there in that little intersection visiting all the little shops and stuff, and he was like, not once did I bump into anybody. He was like, I was 5 minutes in customs here in fucking the United States, and I must have bumped into like 20 motherfuckers that just like were rude about it or, you know, bumped in and was like, oh, my bad, I'm sorry, you know. But he was like, in Japan, it's like you could walk down a crowded street and they just like they're like turning and like just maneuvering out of the way for everybody, and it's just
super convenient.
Yeah, and then like they're like, he was like, the streets, they're clean. You know, they're very,
again, that's a prideful country.
Yeah, they're very like
prideful country.
I don't know. I just that's one on the bucket list.
So what's your number one though? What is the one place like even because look, we ain't millionaires, okay? Let's just put it that way. But there is a place. There's 2 places. One on my wife's list, which it's on my list. It's actually number 2 on my list to go see. But my number 1 is not her number 1. But her number 1 is my number 2. So I would more likely go to see hers than I would to go mine. What is your number 1 bucket list place, even though we're not millionaires?
Even though we're not?
Yeah, what would you... Yeah, because I want to do it while I'm young.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't going to be all old and then just sit there. No, I want to go do some shit. Not hike, because you know my knees. But like, what's your number 1?
I would like to go to London.
London, England.
Visit.
So what there, though? But what's there? Okay, so London?
Dude, Buckingham Palace. Like, you know, like just a little, like.
Big Ben.
Yeah, you know, like just the historical places that, like, wow, you know.
Fuck them. You know what? Okay, there's only one good thing. Okay, hold on.
Hold on. Yeah, that's
you know
the
one good thing that came out of England? You know the one good thing that came out of the UK? One good thing? America. Yeah, goddamn right. That's the only thing good come out of there.
Yeah, I mean,
bitch, you fucking traitor. No, that's a good bucket list place to go.
You can't just give me one. You gotta give
No,
me
I'm
three.
just saying. No. Okay, the reason why I say that is because the place I want to go, I can do it within a few years if I saved up and I did it the right way. Okay. But if we're millionaires, we go anywhere we want. But when we're talking about non-millionaire motherfuckers,
okay, then all right.
What's the one? You have one place. Like we're basically going to go to one.
I want to go to Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico,
because it's my roots. You know, I want to see. You know, like before I die, before my dad passes away, I would like us to go see where he grew up because
he just went there recently.
Yeah.
Good for him, man. He went, and and from my understanding, he had a good time, and it looked like he had a great time in Puerto Rico. It looked like it was just a beautiful place. The pictures I saw of your dad there, beautiful place.
And that's where he like grew up as a child, and he came out here. Like it's just, I would like to go there.
Rest in peace, Big Pun.
Yeah.
No,
Boricua.
My number one place, Tahiti.
Tahiti.
Yeah, it's so weird, bizarre.
See all them ugly women, huh?
Oh, hey, man. I'm just joking. For some reason, I have this fascination with those bungalows. And I think, like, I hate the beach. I cannot stand the beach. I cannot stand going there. I can't stand the parking. I can't stand the people. I can't stand the sand. But, like, if I were to go to, like, a resort that was meant for it, like, there's literally an island of beach. There's nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean? Like, I think for some reason, I don't know why that makes it good.
Isn't that where, like, the little huts?
The water huts. Yeah. That's my thing. I want to go to Tahiti. I want to get one of those fucking
or like they just have a hole in the middle of the floor and you can like
oh, I thought you were gonna say doo doo in there. I was like, what? No, man.
You can fucking like snorkel right in the middle of your bungalow.
Yeah, so those bungalows like appeal to me for some fucking reason.
Yeah, and there's like ones where it's like you're sitting on the side of the little dock thing.
Yeah. So basically,
you can snorkel right there.
Yeah. So one of my huge things is I want to take my family there and I want to enjoy myself. But the thing is, I always wake up before everybody. It doesn't matter if it's a minute or it doesn't matter if it's half an hour. I always wake up before everybody. And what I want to do is I want to wake up in my little hut and I want to just go and then go
butt naked.
Bucket naked. What are those French people going to do to me? So butt naked in my bungalow, I'm going to go out and just jump straight into the ocean. Like from my patio, I'm just going to go whoop and just jump straight into the ocean because I can. Yeah. Not that, I need my swim trunks and my sunscreen. And no, there's water underneath my house that I am temporarily occupying. And I'm going to fucking jump in it because I can. Because if I do it here, I'm going to eat grass. You know what I mean?
And there's your missing person story because he doesn't tell nobody. He just gets eaten by a shark and it's like
in Tahiti. So that's my that's my thing. Like that's my number one.
Man goes skinny dipping in the morning without his family knowing. Fucking cuts himself on some coral.
Oh man, you have no idea how much I'm not gonna jump out of that bungalow.
It's just going on in his mind, but I don't think he's going to do it.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, no. So yeah, that's my number one. That's your number one. But you know what? I encourage anybody if you have because look, I have tons of number ones. I have a list. You have a list. I want to go to Tahiti. That's my number one. Rome, number two, because I want to see the Colosseum.
Yes, I want to see the Colosseum too. That's why I want to go to Rome. Yeah. The Colosseum. Yep. Like just the gladiators fucking fought here. You know what I'm saying? Like
real blood
actual.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. So like we've always been on the same wavelength, but Rome's my number two. And then everything else kind of like flip flops, but New Zealand is super high on the list.
Yeah, see, I was gonna say New Zealand.
New Zealand. That's definitely Guam. Man, Guam's on my list too.
Like that again. That's how our bond started. Like we were friends that became friends because of dance, but the main dance that we were just like, dude.
About it,
back in our day, about it. The Maori Haka. It is just
Maori Haka, Maori. That was so lame.
And it's so funny. But it's so funny because when we do the like the haka, people that don't know the dance, did you just say motherfucker? Did you say fucker? Did you just say fuckers?
You son of a bitch, motherfucker. No, so come on. What's your number 2? What's your 2, 3? Let's just go to 3. You heard my 3. Tahiti, Rome, New Zealand.
Well, I mean, if I was a millionaire, my number 1 would be Japan, Europe, or Rome, and then Australia.
See, you didn't mention nothing but Bariqua.
What? No, but you said money-wise.
Oh, okay, yeah, money-wise. Yeah. I love Bariqua, but I can get a piece of that when I go see my dad.
But yeah, I mean, realistically.
Yeah, Tahiti
like
and
Puerto Rico, Guam, and probably New Zealand or Tahiti.
Yeah,
because those are the islands that I grew up to know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Guam is my blood, Puerto Rico's my blood, but Tahiti and New Zealand, I've danced and I dedicated a piece of my life to dancing. Yeah. Those dances and in that traditional, dance, and it's like I would like to go see it and experience.
Yeah, yeah, and that is the thing. Like Rich, he's been on the podcast, at least 3 times. When I was doing hula with everybody at the time, I would do chanting too, and I actually did it pretty well. But there was like this underlying thing that he always brought up. He's like, you're just kind of making noise. You're saying words that are similar to actual Hawaiian words, but that's not what you're saying because you have no idea what it means. And I'd never thought of it at the time, but as I got older and I kind of separated myself from hula, and I hooked back up with our instructor Sialsi, I wanted to do it again. But as an adult, oh man, like I don't want to say noise anymore. So I really lost my touch with it. I actually was pretty good at it, but I don't want to just say noise and say words and have emptiness coming out of my mouth.
Wait, what do you mean? He because you don't know what you're saying? It's
correct.
Just noise?
Yes.
But see, that's the thing, and that's the thing that I kind of like about CLC was he gave us kind of a background of what we were doing and what we were dancing and what the moves meant and stuff versus a lot of other halaus that we've danced with. It was like we were kind of just following a dance routine versus when we were with CLC, like we did know what we were saying. Like the haka, we even made up our own haka by words that we wanted to say, because he took it up to Auntie Linda back in the day. But I knew what we were saying. I knew what we were talking about.
Well, see, because I didn't. And, my mother-in-law actually called me out on it. Back then. And I'm like, I have no idea what I'm dancing to. And it kind of, really lit up a light bulb in my head. So, I do want to go to Hawaii more than I've been before because I've only been on a boat cruise, and I was only there for, 5 hours. So that's the only time. And I'm very open about it. I mean, I'm not like, I've been to Hawaii. Yeah, I love it. But I love the culture. I grew up in the culture because my mom and dad raised me that way. Yeah. I'm not Hawaiian. I thought I was, but I'm not.
Liar. You lied to me.
Hey, I'm as much Hawaiian as you are Bariqua. Okay? Shut up. So, but no, I do want to experience New Zealand because I've done the haka I don't know how many times, and I love the Maori culture, or at least as far as the dance goes. And, I mean, the only thing out of that dance is probably the All Blacks for rugby and the All Whites for soccer. But, see, you didn't know that. You're a faggot.
So, I actually did know that, bitch.
Bariqua. So,
always thinking he's educating somebody. He ain't educating shit.
Educated bitch. No, so, I do want to learn about the Polynesian Triangle because it's just what I grew up in. And now I'm an adult, and I go, you know what? It's about time that you read upon it or learn or go or do something. Like you owe it to yourself. Like you're doing emptiness on stage. And even when I did Chamorro dancing.
It's just crazy to me that you figure now is when you should educate yourself before. I think you would educate yourself while you're doing it.
I was in the hype because I was enjoying it. I was enjoying the momentum.
I would always look it up and look up stuff that.
Nope. I enjoyed the spotlight.
because I didn't want to do it. Like again, I didn't want to do it, and people ask me like, "What does that mean?" Well, this is why we wear a pareo. This is why we wear
because I like
pew
showing
skirts.
Yeah.
You know, this is why we use the tayaha or the
No, I mean when I was older, like when I had my first kid, and I was married. That's when I really maybe like 26.
Yeah,
that's when I started really like. And trust me, I'm not educated still to this day because I forgot a lot about it. But like I really felt that empty shell. Like I was just like, dude, I owe it to myself and to my dance teacher to know a little bit.
That's why when we used to dance back in the day with Imahen, like I would actually have like Rose and Tony at the time. Like they used to bring out the Chamorro Bible or whatever they called it, Chamorro Bible, but it was like a bunch of history, and I love learning about stuff like that.
Yeah,
not just because I'm Chamorro, but I'm talking about like Hawaiian.
It helps. Yeah, I'm about to say it helps though. It helps that you are Chamorro and you want to learn. You know what I mean? But when you're not,
well, I mean, I learned Maori and Hawaiian stuff like history and reasons why they do what they do.
Marys are crazy. But that's again. But I want to go visit New Zealand because they filmed Lord of the Rings there. I mean, but I mean, it's like a 2 birds 1 stone thing. You
want to see the Hobbit
Town? Oh, I would love to.
Yeah,
love it.
And it's funny because I never knew that until like recently.
Yeah, they have the Green Dragon there. They have the actual bar that the Hobbits went to. The Green Dragon. Yeah, that's cool.
That's sick.
All right, man. I think I want another beer.
Yeah.
And it's not in this room. So, Mike, what had happened was Barriqua Barrera.
You can get a hold of us at mod4up@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Instagram, Twitter,
Instagram, Twitter, and Instagram.
Facebook and YouTube, iTunes, and SoundCloud.
Yeah, everywhere. Everywhere that's a somewhere you can find us. I want to give a special shout out to Flow Roll Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Lemon Grove at Body by Discipline. Coach Ricky Nunez, look him up. Look up Flow at Flow. I just followed him on Instagram. But if you go to Flow Roll Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Lemon Grove on Facebook or whatever, you can find all of Coach Ricky's stuff. And I had the privilege and honor to roll with this guy, meaning practice my martial arts. And I was awarded or earned, whatever you want to call it, my 3rd stripe on my white belt. He knows that I was doing jiu-jitsu for a long time, especially under him, and he awarded me a 3rd white belt or a stripe on my white belt. And I had such a good time doing it. And I want to give just a special shout out because he said something in front of the class that was very heartfelt and touching, and it almost made me cry. So, you guys don't know, if you're not in jiu-jitsu, you don't know how special it is to get a stripe to get to blue belt.
I don't think it's just jiu-jitsu. I just think anything in that sense, like earning that degree on any level.
Yeah. So if you guys look it up, it's a Flow Roll Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu on Facebook. Look it up, or Ricky Nunez, or you can go to mod4up, and we'll have everything up on there too. So thank you, Coach.
Congratulations on your.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm really, really happy about that. I almost cried. But yeah,
accomplishment. I said,
yeah, man. I worked hard for it.
But
so yeah, thank you, Mike, for being here. Oh,
also we want to shout out to Brent Edwards and Ray the broker. They're both brokers. You looking for a house or anything, hit them up at Ray the broker on IG and at Brent the broker on
I think Instagram and or Facebook. We'll have all the information on our Facebook page, the MOD and Mike's and my own.
And for our our Chamorro listeners, hit up Richard Duenas at on Facebook and Erentia Dance Troupe.
Erentia SD on Instagram and Erentia SD on Facebook as well. A super special shout out to Dominic Bloss at Deep Rooted, but there's like a couple threes in there. So
Deep Rooted, the Smash Up.
Dominic has been a major contributor to us.
We'll be sharing because he always posts his events, so we'll be sharing those too. So you can support and show love and get out there and, have a drink or two with some good music.
Yeah, so we just did 25 episodes. This is going to be our 26th. And, again, I mean, I don't know how many times I'm going to say it, but we're fulfilling a little bit of a fantasy, and we're having such a good time, and it's because of you guys. And thank you, for Dominic Blas, Brent the Broker, Ray the Broker, Richard Duenas, Rencha SD, Ricky Nunez for Flow Road Jiu-Jitsu. Everybody that came by and helped us out and made us feel good.
Yeah, we boy Trev, can't forget
Trev, everybody that's been a guest, we've tried to make you feel good because you make us feel good in kind. Thank you, everybody, for doing this for us.
And I haven't told Dominic yet, but maybe this week, if time is good for us. I want to do a Q&A. We're going to do a Facebook Live. If not a Facebook Live, we're just going to do a post. And it's going to be a Q&A or whatever. Just ask your questions and comments or whatever, and then we'll get back to you.
Yeah. We'll have all that there. MOD4UP, gmail.com.
Hashtag MOD4UP.
And that's it. I mean, you guys can follow us anywhere that's a somewhere. Just look it up. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Just share, and like and share. Yep. Anything else, Mike?
Nope.
All right, man. I'll catch you cats later.
Peace out.